It's 1437, the 15th of October 2025. South China Sea, 50 nautical miles off the Philippines. A U.S. Navy MH-60R Romeo helicopter cuts through haze, sensors alive, sonar dipping into blue, then an alert tone. Unknown radar spikes on the screen. The crew locks eyes. Outside, a dark silhouette darts low. A Chinese Z-10 attack helicopter, closing fast. Flares burst across the sky, warning shots without words. The American pilot steadies his grip orders crisp over radio. Beneath them, the ocean hums with another threat, a Yuan-class submarine surfacing to recharge, unaware it's being hunted. The Seahawk holds steady, blades slicing humid air. Inside, radar beeps and comms hiss, the thump of rotors pounding like a heartbeat on edge. Down below, sonar echoes bounce off steel hulls, tiny pings of tension in the deep. Above, the Z-10 circles again, cannon glinting in the afternoon light. No one fires yet, but every second stretches thin the air between two nations trembling, one move away from turning this cold sea hot. The South China Sea isn't just blue water on a map. It's a living artery for global trade tankers, cargo ships, and fishing fleets, threading through lanes that keep shelves stocked from Tokyo to Los Angeles. For the U.S. Navy, every patrol here is a promise. Keep routes open, show the flag where silence might invite danger. Today, that silence is heavy. The MH-60R Romeo isn't here for show, it's hunting. Somewhere below, a Chinese Yuan-class submarine lurks. Diesel engines quiet, batteries charging. Its crew knows American sensors can hear whispers. One slip and they're marked. Above, the Z-10 pilot sees the Seahawk as a trespasser, maybe bait. Both sides record every tone and turn, aware the footage could one day justify the unthinkable. From a U.S. carrier group 100 miles away, calm voices ride the radio. Maintain distance. Do not engage. They know a spark here can ripple across the region. Insurance, shipping, markets at dawn. One burst of gunfire, and Asia wakes up changed. Inside the Seahawk, the crew walks the edge between caution and resolve. ESM logs, spike patterns, bearings, call signs. The Z-10's flares and radar paint write clues into American memory. That data could matter more than a dramatic shot. Proof beats pride in a long game. Keep gathering signatures, and the next encounter starts with an edge. Still, neither crew blinks. The Z-10 drifts closer, rotor wash rippling the surface. The Seahawk holds altitude steady, unyielding. What happens next isn't about firepower, but nerve. A hand signal, a sudden bank, a misread call, any of it could turn this standoff into a lesson taught in war colleges. And once a shot echoes, no one controls how far the echo travels. If you were in that cockpit, would you hold steady or fire first? Tap 1 for restraint or 9 if you'd pull the trigger. Seconds stretch into a wire. The Seahawk's sensors lock on the Yuan-class hull. Bearings update every sweep. The pilot's voice is low. We have a contact, loud and shallow. The Z-10 dives low. Firing tracer bursts across the sky, warning shots, not kills. Orange streaks flash over the water. The Seahawk holds fire, switching to full record mode, every radar pulse stored for later. Below, the submarine halts charging and sends a short ping. The Seahawk's sonar catches the churn, the metallic hum of propellers. "We've got the sound print," the operator whispers. Aboard the escort cruiser, the captain orders. Show readiness, no engagement. Missiles move to standby. The carrier group logs all comms, each word, each code, saved in silence. The Z-10 circles again, dropping flares that hiss across the waves. Its pilot taunts on radio. The Seahawk climbs higher, showing sensors instead of weapons. Calm meets provocation, and the air feels like glass about to crack. Then near miss. A flare arcs too close, igniting spray. The Seahawk banks hard left. The sub dives deeper. On the cruiser scope, 3 symbols glow. One helicopter, one sub, one potential disaster. A Chinese support ship breaks silence. Do not escalate. The voice steadies the airwaves, but tension lingers. One mistranslated phrase, one radar lock too long, could spark chaos. Inside the Seahawk, The crew records everything: the pulse of enemy radar, the rhythm of the sub's turn, the tone of its comms. Each bite captured is leverage for tomorrow. Both pilots keep circling. Patience fighting pride. The Seahawk's commander values data. The Z-10 pilot, pressure. Each maneuver writes an invisible line across the sea neither dares to cross. Finally, the carrier's voice returns. Log complete. Withdraw 5 miles. The Seahawk obeys, sensors still running. The ocean calms. But the digital record endures proof of restraint and a quiet warning for whoever comes next. Aster, the Z-10 holds at the edge of a slow spiral, a hawk that won't dive. The sub's wake thins, then vanishes. Only scattered bubbles mark its path. The Seahawk steadies on an outbound vector. Cameras aft. No victory calls, only clip checklists, and the quiet sense that round 1 ended before anyone said it began. The Seahawk turns back toward the contact zone. Clouds darken. The sea grows rough. Static crackles across comms. Someone's jamming the channel. The pilot steadies the stick. We've lost clear signal from the carrier. The air is thicker now. Every sound a warning. Far below, the Yuan-class submarine changes depth, sliding toward the thermocline to hide. The sonar operator mutters. He's masking. The crew adjusts gain, filters noise, hunts through layers of ocean static. Each new ping sharpens tension like a blade. Suddenly, radar picks up 2 fast signatures. Small, low, closing. Drones. The Z-10 isn't alone. The Seahawk sensors paint them as recon scouts, each carrying countermeasure pods. They're boxing us in, the co-pilot says. The Seahawk banks right, then climbs, forcing distance. From the cruiser, an urgent call. Romeo 1. Stay clear, multiple emissions from the north. Lightning flashes across the horizon. The American pilot sees the Z-10 turning toward him, drones sweeping behind like hounds driving a herd. He knows this isn't random, it's coordination. The Seahawk climbs higher, radar locking on one drone, forcing it to reveal control frequencies. The Z-10 fires another flare, then a short radar burst. The American crew captures everything, every pulse, every frequency. They're painting us, says the pilot. Let them, we'll take it home. The drones press closer, one skimming just above the waves, another arcing behind the Seahawk's tail. The crew flips defensive mode on flares armed, countermeasures primed. But still, no one fires. One flare, one missile, and diplomacy burns. Then, the Z-10 cuts in front close enough that the Seahawk's nose camera catches the pilot's helmet glint. The air trembles with rotor wash, salt spray, and nerve. Voices on both radios clash. Orders overlapping in 2 languages neither side wants to misunderstand. On the carrier, command reviews live feeds, multiple contacts, no clearance to fire. Hold positions, the admiral says. We can't blink. The Seahawk hovers steady, waiting. Across the haze, the Z-10 mirrors every move. A stalemate of skill and steel, one heartbeat from collapse. If you were flying here, would you stay patient or strike first? Tap 1 if you'd hold the line, or 9 if you'd break it. The standoff drags into silence. Both helicopters hover at knife-edge distance, engines growling like beasts chained too tight. Then the sea breaks. A low boom rolls from below. Not an explosion, but pressure. The Yuan-class sub has fired a decoy torpedo. The sonar screen lights up. We've got launch signature! The Seahawk banks hard, dropping counterflares over the water. The decoy torpedo spirals wide, harmless, but that's not the danger. The real twist isn't underwater. It's above. The Z-10 suddenly cuts radio silence and locks radar on the Seahawk's tail. For a moment, it looks like an attack. The American crew braces, fingers over triggers, but then realize the radar isn't aimed for a kill. It's scanning, recording them back. China's pilot is doing exactly what the Seahawk came to do. Gather data, prove control, win without a shot. Copy that, the US commander mutters. They're mirroring us. The crew switches frequency, sweeps their own radar one more time, and the 2 helicopters freeze, caught in mutual observation, like reflections trapped in opposing mirrors. Over the radio, static crackles. Romeo 1, maintain altitude. You are being painted by multiple sources. The Seahawk steadies. Waves below shimmer with decoy trails, a bright confusion of light and noise. The sub slips deeper, its trace vanishing into dark silence. The Z-10 holds position, collecting its own victory, proof it could push back. The Seahawks commander knows this dance won't end with anyone retreating. It ends with both sides holding evidence, both claiming the upper hand. Through the cockpit glass, two pilots glance across 100 yards of air and understand restraint is power, but so is exposure. One move now decides who walks away smarter or humiliated. The radio crackles, then silence. Both pilots wait, knowing whoever moves first decides everything. The Seahawk hovers high. The Z-10 shifts position, closer than ever. The tension becomes physical, pressing on every breath. Suddenly, the Yuan-class sub surges back up, slicing through the surface in a burst of white foam. Its hull glistens like wet steel. A tower hatch opens, then slams shut. On the Seahawk's radar, new pings bloom. Another vessel has joined, a Chinese frigate racing in from the east. The American commander curses softly. They're calling backup. The Seahawk climbs fast, pulling clear of the sub's radar cone. Alarms shriek. The Z-10 locks radar again tight, deliberate, like a fingertip on a trigger. Romeo 1, hold position. The carrier's voice cuts through static, but the ocean below erupts, waves rising from propeller wash, interference swirling across sensors. The Seahawk's ESM flares red. The Z-10 closes in, so near the Seahawk's cameras can see the pilot's eyes. The American crew arm flares but hold fire. A single wrong move and both will vanish in flame. Then the twist inside the climax. The Chinese frigate fires chaff rounds skyward, a wall of silver rain between both sides. It's not an attack, it's a signal. The Z-10 peels away. The frigate cuts across the Seahawk's flight path, forcing separation. On board the Seahawk, the pilot exhales, hands trembling slightly. The radio clears. Return to base, do not pursue. The sea below returns to gray stillness, but the adrenaline lingers, heavy and sharp. Through the mist, the Z-10 hovers one last time, its lights flashing in coded rhythm acknowledgement or warning. The Seahawk tilts its nose in return, a gesture that could mean respect or defiance. No one will ever write this in an official report, but both crews know this was the closest they've come to war without crossing the line. Back on the cruiser, flight deck crews stand frozen beside fueled birds, launch carts humming without orders. In Manila's control rooms, screens glow. In Beijing and Washington, phones vibrate on silent. On both bridges, pens hover over logs, waiting for words no one wants to write. The ocean looks calm again, but every wake is a signature. And tonight, the water keeps the score. If you think one wrong second could have changed history, tap 1 for calm under pressure, or 9 if you'd have taken the shot. Dawn breaks over the South China Sea. The waves look peaceful, but the data doesn't lie. Gigabytes of sonar returns, radar logs and comms, traffic stream toward analysts across the Pacific. What looked like a near miss will now become a case study, dissected frame by frame. On the carrier, the Seahawks crew steps out into the wind, eyes red, faces pale, no cheers, no medals, just silence and paperwork. The commander signs the report, one line standing out. No shots fired. It sounds simple, but everyone knows how close that sentence came to being rewritten. Half a world away, Beijing issues a short statement, routine patrol, no confrontation. Washington responds the same. Diplomats smile on camera while intelligence teams pore over waveforms, comparing every pulse, every harmonic, every whisper of machine noise that the Seahawk brought back. The Chinese frigate returns to port at Hainan. Engineers swarm the Z-10, replaying its radar captures. Somewhere, in another briefing room, a U.S. analyst plays the same footage, each side learning, adapting, evolving for the next round. No one claims victory, yet both claim control. The sea, indifferent, rolls on. Fishermen resume their routes. Cargo ships trace their lines across calm waters that hide the echoes of that long night. Nothing changed except everything beneath the surface. In the Seahawk's black box, the final transmission loops. Contact faded, mission complete. The tone is steady, but behind it lies a truth. Every sailor knows peace is only the space between warnings. On the bridge, the commander looks east, toward faint light on the horizon. Next time, he mutters, they'll come prepared. And so will we. If you think America truly held the line that night, tap 1. If you believe China quietly scored its win, tap 9.